64560. Connected to node 564562.
DATV.
Good evening, Carlos. This is James, WU7N.
WU7N, copy. This is KD7ZYM.
Thank you. Standing by for net.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I am Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to the Cougar Mountain. There it's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage where you'll see the frequencies we transmit and receive on, and also a little bit of history about our group. Also there you'll find a link that will take you to YouTube, where we stream our NEPs held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we utilize the Western Washington Amateur Television Society repeater, WW7ATS, for our voice transmissions on 147.08 with a tone of 102.5. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before our net gets fully underway. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Again, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Signed in by video link already is Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma. Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. Chim, N7QO in Covington. James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. And Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma. Also, Carlos, 87NP in Clyde Hill. And myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is anybody else wishing to check in? Again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Let's start it off with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me, Dave? I noticed that the sound wasn't coming over the TV very well tonight. Lee says he can hear me just fine. That's good. Dave can hear me. Wade can hear me okay. Well, let's see. Wade came over for a while this evening, right after dinner, and played with everything, trying to get my receive picture better. It kind of been fluctuating in and out, and then it freezes up. But I have my iPad here tonight, and I have the streaming on the iPad. I failed to do that last time, and I was frustrated because I couldn't see people, and I kind of sounded off. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, he determined he couldn't make it any better, changed out preamps and stuff, and came, I guess, to the conclusion it's just the location of my receive antenna. I'm receiving the picture through the trees. Right now I'm getting a pretty good picture in, but I wasn't for a few minutes. So let's see. Nice to see everybody tonight. Nice to see Carlos. Haven't seen Carlos for a while. I think I know where he was, and I hope he had a good time. Let's see. So my wife left yesterday morning with her sister and brother-in-law and nieces and her husband and everything, and they went north into Canada. They have a house up on Shuswap Lake, which is, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours up above Kamloops. It's a good 10-hour drive from here. I begged off and didn't want to go. I didn't want to sit in the car for 10 hours. When you get old, you need to stop and go to the bathroom about every hour and a half or 2 hours or something, and that would just be a nuisance. And then we have an old cat too, and I needed to stay home and take care of her. I don't know where she is right now, but anyway, she's around here someplace. And then let's see. So I went to the ham club meeting this morning. I was surprised to see Wade. I can track Wade on my phone, and I was going to call him yesterday afternoon and ask him if he could come over and look at my receive, and I noticed he was up by Squim. And so this morning when I went to the ham clubhouse, lo and behold, there he was. I was really surprised when I saw him. I guess I figured he was up there for the weekend. Was the crab festival this weekend, Lee? The crab festival, was it this weekend? Sometime, anyway, yeah, he's saying it was. So I don't know if you've ever been to that, but it's a pretty neat deal. We went to it a couple of times, met Lee and Paula, and I think Dave was up there once. I don't know, maybe. Other people were there. I actually think that we saw Dixie and what's his name there once too. So anyway, went over there and full noon and had lunch, and then I was bored, so I fired up the Corvette and went for a ride. Drove around for a while with that, and then came back. Watched. I drove it in the rain the other day, and it had a little dust on it, and now it's filthy dirty. But I didn't want to wash it. I'm lazy. So anyway, if you don't drive them, the batteries go dim in them, or you have to put a charger on. All right, that's enough for now. So we'll turn it back to Dave, KD7ZY.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the WW7ATS 2-meter repeater 14708 simulcasting audio. And for some reason, the simulcasting audio for the 2-meter radio is not coming through this evening, but that probably will be fixed in a few minutes. So coming up next is Lee N7KC in Port Angeles.
Time. There we go. All right. There we go with the Indian head test pattern. All right. This is Lee, N7KC in Port Angeles. And good evening to Carlos and Dave and Ron and Wade's out there. And I think Jim in Covington is there and so forth. And I'm getting some thumbs up, so I guess you're hearing me okay. Yes, this is Crab Fest weekend. It's a 3-day thing. It started yesterday and goes through tomorrow. And they're holding it in the usual place. The traffic is awful down there. It's pretty well attended. But this year, interestingly, they're not getting the Canadians to come down. They have a package, a special on the coho. And they've always had quite a lot of Canadians come down to eat crab. And in fact, they're not doing that this year. So they think their numbers may be down a little bit from last year, but you would not believe the number of crab that they serve, thousands. Last year it was several tons. They had 3 different fish companies supplying crab and went pretty popular. We did not go this year. We don't plan on it. We did have the club breakfast here this morning over on the east edge of town at Joshua's restaurant. And 15 strong showed up, about the usual crowd. And it's really, really a lot of fun. We had our club meeting Wednesday night, so I couldn't be here. And then previous Wednesday, we had a board meeting. And then on Saturday night, I wasn't able to come. So it's been a while since I've been here. I've got the Indian head up right now. One thing I wanted to comment on it. The system seems to be working fine for me. Uh, Carlos might be interested, or Wade, in this. What I'm doing is I'm listening to the stream with headphones and a boom mic. And when I'm listening and David's talking, I hear a really, really, really faint bit of audio, and then it comes along the internet quite a bit stronger. So there's an interesting latency that I hear from Dave without the stream. I don't know how that works. Now, the other thing I wanted to comment about the Indian head is, if you notice, it looks a little soft. But I have a copy of it on the screen here on the laptop, and it's so crisp you could cut yourself with it. You know, you can see resolution all the way to the maximum what that will allow. So obviously there's some compression and a lot of it going on there, probably because of all the white, so forth. Anyway, so that was just an aside comment. Otherwise, things are okay here. You know, we stumble along. Fall is going fast, and winter will soon be upon us. And we're still pretty dry. We haven't had any serious rain here yet. We're way behind this. We're way behind for the year. We're behind. We were behind last month. Seriously, July we had not a drop, and now we're maybe what we got. We don't have a tenth of an inch yet. I don't think here this year, this month. So I'm going to say 7-3. No, I'm not going to say 7-3 yet. I'm going to turn it back to Dave, and I'm going to hang on here for a while. I don't know if I can hold out for an hour or not, but we'll see. I want to hear from Carlos and Wade and everybody. So, Dave, back to you. This is N7KC Lee in Port Angeles.
N7KC, thanks with that. And this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's move on to Wade in Tacoma, W7ITL. What say you, Wade?
All right, I can hear my audio. Let's see. I did not know about the Crab Fest, Lee. I was up there doing we were getting an auction item that my wife had purchased from somebody in Sequim. And we stayed overnight at the Seven Cedars Casino. It's a really nice casino, really well kept. It looks like it was brand new, and it's been there a while because I've seen all the pictures, and they have like 2009 on them, so it's been there a good what is that, 10 years or so. So yeah, at least 15 years, I guess. I was going to comment about something I found out today or yesterday. There's a new geosync satellite that's being planned, and it's going to probably go up. I'm not sure when it's going to go up, but AMSAT's working with the UK's AMSAT, and they're looking at putting a geosync satellite in orbit for the US. I guess it's going to be more focused on the East Coast, but it's supposed to have some coverage on the West Coast as well. So looking forward to that as it progresses and we get better timelines on when that's going to go up into space. I think it's called Future Geo. It's something I read, so that's going to be really cool. Yeah, I went to the Radio Club of Tacoma today, and I saw Ron, of course, and I went to their monthly board meeting / kind of like, I guess you call it like a club meeting, but everybody's invited. It's at the not Elks Club, but the Eagles Club on 72nd Street in Tacoma. And I put my name in the hat in there for one of the positions, so we'll see if I get elected or not. It's one of the officer positions. They have like quite a few officer positions available right now, so I'm gonna look at it, try to get in one of those positions. Went to Costco and just got back about an hour ago, or maybe 2 hours now. So, yeah, picture's doing really good on my end. I know that Ron and Carlos were having some video issues, and I think that's attributed to some weather conditions that are causing the signal not to propagate as well as it normally does. Yeah, it's just one of the issues with having a high frequency downlink. It's a little temperamental when it comes with moisture and so forth, that when signal wants to go through the trees. But it's been working really good for me, but I think I have a near line of sight or a full line of sight to cougars, so I don't get any of those tree problems. All right, well, I'll turn it back to Net Control. This is W7ITL, Wade in Tacoma.
W7ITL, thanks for that. Let's see if we got Jim with us, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, Ron, I have excellent video and audio from you over the television repeater, but nothing over 2 meters. So, didn't want to do a 10-hour car ride, huh? I do not blame you at all. So, Joanne's in Canada, just you and Lily. Well, we're glad you're here. Good to see you. Lee, good video and audio from you on the television repeater, but the 2-meter audio was breaking up. Talked about the Crab Fest. Yeah, no Canadians. That is too bad. And then you're saying it's still dry in PA. Well, yeah, that seems to be a problem with that part of the state. I don't know. It's if PA is drier or Squim is drier, but right now probably everything is dry up there. Dave, excellent video and audio from you on both the television repeater and the 2 meters. Wade, same with that, but then your 2-meter audio began breaking up just a little bit for some reason, but not badly. And a future satellite, huh? Yeah, they need to get one out here. I know the population in this country is concentrated along the East Coast, but we're out here too, and that sure would be good. At any rate, they're making an effort to do something that's certainly a step in the right direction, and we'll look forward to getting that. Now that you mentioned, I just got a QST in yesterday's mail. I have not had a chance to open it yet, but I would wonder if there's something in there, an article. I'll have to take a look at that. Thanks for mentioning that. And let's see, what did I do today? I can't remember everything I did, but my wife had me doing all kinds of stuff, and ran a couple of errands in the rain. We did get some rain here in the Covington area, but it has stopped for now. I guess tomorrow it's supposed to be more rainy than today, so not looking forward to that, except for the fact that we do need the rain, even down here, Lee. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's go to James, WU7N. What say you, James?
Testing. Testing 1 2 3 4 WU7N. All right. Well, it looks like I finally made the trip here. That was a long delay between starting the OBS and getting that OBS connection and then hearing myself on 2 meters, but it does appear to be coming through all right. I'm looking right now at my, there's my call sign. There's an even bigger delay. I have not, there were the first couple people, it was very choppy and I couldn't really hear, for example, what some people were saying on 2 meters, but I could hear it with a significant delay on the low latency stream. So big thanks to whoever's doing all the software adjusting here tonight. It seems to be working. Well, a new satellite, that's exciting. I take it you mean by that a new satellite that will handle amateur television or maybe just voice or data. I'm not sure what all the new satellite will do, but certainly look forward to anything that's an amateur radio satellite or one that people can use. Let's see, I guess I told you last Wednesday that the exciting project last week was dealing with the hornets on my street. I take the same walk past down my same route. I do the same 4 hills almost every day, and I walked past one and suddenly had this big pain in my foot, and then the next day I went back to look because I obviously been stung or bit by something, and I saw a whole bunch of ground-dwelling hornets there. So I found an abandoned no parking sign in the bushes. I taped a hornets warning on top of the parking sign and put it in front of the hornet nest. My goodness, that stirred them up. And it was kind of entertaining to see 1 or 2 people walk up to wonder why there was a no parking sign on the side of the road there on the sidewalk, and then they would read it and run away. But anyway, I was able to get in touch with someone that took care of it over at the other association. And so today I took the sign away, but I was wondering, gosh, I wonder how long I could just leave the sign here before anyone would do something with it. But then I thought, well, I was the one that put the sign there, so I should take it away. So anyway, that was all the excitement last week, the major community effort. It's got to be a life lesson there somewhere. I mean, I walked past those hornets every day since the early spring and didn't even know they were there, and everyone got along in peace. But then, of course, in the fall, apparently they just naturally do this. They become very aggressive. So if they become Hamas hornets, then they're doomed. They are no more. So why can't we all just get along? Anyway, well, that's all the excitement and exciting news here. This is James, WU7N, in Northeast Bellevue. I'm going to go ahead, and I never did see myself appear on the low latency stream. I just see sort of a weird gray bar. I'm going to try and see if I can reload this page and see if I ever get myself to appear here, because I should be able to see myself, and I cannot do so. Yeah, it's just a call sign at the bottom, and looks like some kind of a gray smear. So anyway, I will go ahead and say this is WU7N and turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. And I'm going to go ahead and push the stop right.
WU7N, thanks with that. You did have good audio, but for some reason the picture didn't materialize. It wasn't even pixelated for some reason. It was sort of a grayscale that came in, and with a little imagination you might have been able to see something of an outline of a head, but that was about it. So anyway, let's move on to Carlos, 87 NP in Clyde Hill.
Okay. I see audio going. This is 87 NP in Clydehill. Trying a new microphone to make sure we don't capture the fan noise. So let's see that that works. So a couple of notes. So Ron was not coming through on 2 meters because Ron is too fast on the trigger. And this when it goes from the transmission from Dave to Ron, the receiver is not unlocked yet, and so it stays back on Dave call sign. And Dave has a different rule from everyone else. When Dave is transmitting, we don't repeat the audio from his TV signal into the 2 meters because Dave asked us to always pick up the audio from 2 meters. And in fact, that also helps lead a question that you had. What's the situation and why there's 2 audios on Dave? One is the powerful audio that he has on the TV transmitter, and then because he has a microphone on his camera that goes through the TV repeater, and that's more powerful. And there's the 2 meter transmission also. So Dave is simulcasting, but one is 2 meters directly, and the other goes through the video encoder and decoder. So it takes a little longer sometimes to pass. I think now the TV repeater is a lot more stable. I think I can cut one of the audios, but in the past, Dave's transmission would fail intermittently on the TV, and then we would have breaks of audio, and so the 2 meter was the backup. But we'll figure out a better solution going forward. But that's right, that does happen on Dave's transmission when it's on. On the video quality and why the video was kind of not as sharp as what you see there. So you're probably using, I think, 1.5 or 2.5 on what you are transmitting as video through the encoding, through the H.264 encoding. And then the video gets decoded on the TV repeater, and that's re-encoded again. So there's a lot of decoding and re-encoding, and definitely something gets lost for sure. On the GeoSync sat, yeah, unfortunately, I think the plans don't are not great for us here on this coast because they are optimizing for kind of transatlantic contacts, and so that's not great, at least on this plan. So hopefully they will make better plans for the next one. Great to know that Jim is receiving a good signal tonight. In fact, I was hoping that as Wade changed a couple of parameters on the transmission, so it's great to see that it's working better. I'm having also a very steady reception here, so that's great. I like how Dave represented James' video that had not materialized. That was what I was thinking. You know, there was a Star Trek, and you didn't completely transport yourself into the video, and there was just only some pixels coming. I think this is the software you're using on the phone, Streamlabs. It has that. I've seen that happening from time to time. So when you see that, you might want to stop the transmission and start again. and that might help. I also noticed that the audio on the 2 meters was breaking up a little bit in the beginning. Hopefully now it's better. There was something else running on the PC at the repeater that was taking some cycles, and was just a browser window that I've killed. Update on my side. I was trying to use a power supply that I had there, and I noticed that there was something moving inside. So I opened, and there was this, which is just the the outer shell of a capacitor. The capacitor that got converted into, I don't know, more of a gun, and shoot the other portion. So I guess not very good capacitor. So I'm just replacing them for some better quality. I had a great day on my new HF antenna. Lots of DX from Africa to Europe to the Pacific. So I'm really, really enjoying the new HF antenna. And then on the next one, I'll show you my new device that I've been working on, and I'll tell you all about it. So back to Dave, net control from 87NP in Clyde Hill. 1, 2, 3.
87 NP, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Get an ID here. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Well, for me, here I've got 52 degrees and raining outside, but I'm joyful for that. I had a gentleman come over and spread some moss remover on my roof today, and unfortunately when he got over to the one end of the roof to balance himself, he put his hand on the chimney and it moved out about 2 inches and then came back to the house. So anyway, this was a contractor, and so we're going to try and take down part of the chimney and then reattach it to the house again, keeping it from falling in the driveway in the street. So anyway, an earthquake could have come along and caused a lot of damage. But outside of that, for entertainment, I've been watching baseball. The Mariners, a great game, and then I watched the Ducks today from Oregon. Unfortunately, the Ducks did not do too good. They didn't float, as you might say, in recovery. They lost. So outside of that, that's pretty much it. And all over, the video seems to be looking pretty good. And, oh, I might add, while the guy was up on the roof, I had him tap the antenna. He moved it about 15 degrees, and so I think I got a little better picture coming out now than I had in the past. Plus, whatever they have done to improve the transmissions. I notice I'm in minus 45 dBm, which was almost 10 dBm difference in what the antenna was pointing to in the past. Also, audio seemed to be coming across. However, the audio coming from the digital TV seems to have a little bit of a motorboat effect coming across on the 2-meter repeater for information. But pictures have looked sharp, and Lee's picture, his Indian head was about as sharp as can be for me on reception, and his pictures was great. Ron's picture was good. Everything seems to be looking great. The only thing was we didn't beam up Scotty, you might say, on WU7N. So anyway, it was good audio, and so that's about what's happening here in Lake City. So I'm going to move it back up to the top to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. Hello to everyone again. The baseball game last night was, I guess it was last night. I gotta turn the 2-meter sound down, I guess. It's feedback through 2-meter. Yeah, I've been getting some intermittent on the 2-meter sound too. I haven't been using the TV sound tonight. It didn't want to work very well, I didn't think. So anyway, that baseball game was something else that went on and on for 15 innings, and I was thinking, come on, somebody, you gotta win. Get this over. So I guess they play, is it Sunday night? Tomorrow night? They play again, and I guess they're up in Canada, so they'll be up there for 2 games, and then I guess they come back home for 2 games. So I have 2 TV sets in the TV room, and I can watch 2 things at the same time. So the Huskies were playing last night too. They played Rutgers, and they beat them. I think it was like 17-34. The Huskies are really doing good this year. They've only lost 1 game. They beat some pretty good schools, so I've been really impressed with the Huskies. I started to watch the Alabama game. That coach, DeBoer, used to be the Husky coach, and so last year he had a lot of trouble in Alabama, but this year I think they've only lost 1 game and they've won about 4 or 5. So they're doing much better. So I guess maybe his job is secure. They were thinking about getting rid of him. And who was it? Belichick? He's managing, is it Carolina college team, and they're doing just terrible. He's going to lose his job. That famous coach is going to lose his job. I'm just sure. So anyway, it's kind of fun. I like college football almost better than I do pro ball. I guess the Seahawks play tomorrow. I'll watch it for sure, but I like the college football better, I think. Okay, well, I don't have too much more to say. I went down to Safeway's to the deli, and I bought something for dinner. I had a chicken dinner, and it came with chicken, and I guess I opted for the macaroni instead of they have, what do they have? I forget what they call them. They're big French fries. I don't really care for them. Yeah, baked potato, if you have a lot of the stuff on it, is good. I'm not a big potato person, I guess. My sister-in-law, they seem to eat a lot of potato and they don't put much on it. I gotta have lots of stuff on my potatoes. We for the Corvette Club, they meet once a month, and they meet at the Black Bear restaurant. It's down South Tacoma way, about what is it? 96 or something. It's just real close to where 512 is. And I've been eating their chicken fried steak. Man, is their gravy good. Oh, they have mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes are good too, but their gravy, whoever that chef is, he seasons that gravy to the way I like it, that's for sure. So I've had it twice now, and I wasn't disappointed either time. When we were traveling and we used to go in a lot of little mom and pop's restaurant, I ate a lot of that, and it was amazing. Sometimes the gravy would be good, and other times the gravy would be bad. So anyway, enough for food. So back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the Western WW7ATS 2 meters repeater, simulcasting the audio from the net. So with that, let's move to Lee N7KC in Port Angeles. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM.
Okay, well, oh, there we go. That was pretty quick. Yep, N7KC, Lee here in Port Angeles. Back again. Well, okay. I need to clarify something on the Indian head pattern. What I meant to imply was it's my OBS that is softening it up, the whatever the processing is in the OBS here, because it's being softened before I ever put it on the stream. So it may be that all the rest of the system, if you're seeing it pretty crisp, is working pretty good. But the OBS here is really softening it up. All right. Let's see. The breaks in the stream. I'm seeing kind of an interesting thing, I think. I'm seeing what I would characterize as two different types. Occasionally there's the one where the audio is buffered and it's clocked out a little faster till it catches up. So there's that variety of interruption, which I take to be at the other end someplace. And then there's another one where the video just simply freezes. There's a break in the audio and the video, and it comes back. And Ron is pretty much free of anything like that. James, I had no break in the digital stream whatsoever on James, but I had a very interesting stretched out picture that seemed to be scrolling down the screen. Looked like a waterfall, James, a little bit, and so forth. So I'm a little bit curious about that. My I have 200 megabits per second bandwidth here. I just ran speedtest.net on it while Ron was talking, and I seem to have plenty of ammunition available here streaming wise that I shouldn't be seeing any breaks. I now have we have I have a Linksys cognitive router with total of three nodes, but excluding the router, I have two child nodes on it, one on every floor here. So the indications are that I have a good strong Wi-Fi signal and all that. That was done because we noticed that our phones, when we use Wi-Fi calling, there are some dead spots in the house, and I thought maybe I could fix it by doing that pretty simple installation. It was pretty easy to do. In fact, there was nothing to it. And in the process, I've learned to use my SysLink app or LinkSys, I guess. What is it? Yeah, LinkSys app on my phone to be able to look at everything we have here and the details on MAC address and IP and all that sort of stuff. So I've learned a lot in the process. I don't have anything else, so I will pass it back to Dave. Interesting on the geosynchronous satellite. Yeah, I get the urge to make transatlantic contacts. I get that, and be a long time coming before something like that shows up on the West Coast, probably. Uh, yeah, I'm not equipped to really do that. Not that I suppose I couldn't tool up for it, but probably won't happen. Um, so I guess I'll send it back to you, Dave, and someplace down between now and what are we time wise here? Oh, we're okay. We just got 15 minutes left. I will send it back to you, say probably 73. I doubt it gets back to me. So this is N7KC, Leon, Port Angeles. Go ahead, Dave.
N7KC, thanks with that. And get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Moving down, let's go to Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma land.
All right. Well, this is probably my 73 round. I don't know if I'll make it on the next go, but did wanted to say that yeah, I'm hopeful this new GeoSat. I know it's still in the planning stages. I guess they were doing a workshop last month to kind of go over what they're going to do. So I guess they secured about 250,000. I don't know the denomination, but I think it's like pounds or and whatever the denomination is in Europe, I forget now. But that's a pretty cheap satellite if you think about it. Most satellites are in the millions, and I think some of them are in the billions. So if they can pull it off, that would be really cool, and maybe that would kind of ignite opportunities for additional satellites to go up, so we would have better coverage on the West Coast. Because I did look at the predicted coverage map, and it looks like we would be in the fringes of the satellite coverage. So, I mean, I'm still hopeful that it might work still with a good pointing and a good antenna and good amplifiers. Let's see. Yeah, everything is going well tonight with the streaming. Well, at least not the streaming, but the RF back to my house on 1.2 gig. No breaks. Everybody's audio sounds perfect, so I couldn't ask for better. It's been pretty good tonight. So I'll say that's all I got. I will say that tomorrow I will be at the Radio Club of Tacoma, and I will be doing some projects. We're going to be installing, or not installing, it's already there, but we're going to move the mesh core repeater that we have at the Radio Club of Tacoma to the main tower. So that's going to be interesting if we get that all pulled off tomorrow and mounted and operating, because right now it's sitting on a windowsill in the second story of the ham club. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to probably be there around 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning to get that all set up. All right, well, that's all I got. I'll send it back to Dave, Net Control. This is W7ITL.
Thanks with that. Let's go to N7QO. What say you?
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, Jim, yeah, what everyone else said too. You saw it. Your picture was mostly just a gray smear, and that's probably a good description. It looked like you hadn't quite materialized there. We've seen that before, and you did something in the past that made it better. I don't remember what happened to make you materialize, but anyway, excellent audio from everyone tonight over the television repeater. Jim, your audio was breaking up a little bit on 2 meters. However, maybe midway during your transmission, it improved significantly. Let's see. Carlos, yeah, I wanted to mention I got receiving excellent audio from everyone over the television repeater tonight, and good video from everyone except Bellevue Jim there. And I'm glad to hear you're enjoying your HF antenna. I had an HF antenna put up once upon a time until we put up a new roof, and I had it mounted on a mast, which was my pseudo roof tower. It was attached to a gable from a higher level of my roof. But since putting up the new roof, never got it back up. I don't know, maybe next summer I'll get to do that. We'll see what happens. Dave, chimney no longer anchored to the house. Wow, that can be a problem. Good luck with that. I don't know what they're going to do to fix that, but I'm glad that you noticed it before it came tumbling down. One of my neighbors here had some chimney problems, and they didn't know about it until bricks started falling down. So it's good that it's being noticed. Good luck with the fix on that. Ron, the Mariners game. Yeah, I watched that, and they do play tomorrow at 5 p.m. Seattle time. I think my wife has some other plans for me, but I'm sure we'll catch at least the end of it. So we're planning to record it. And college ball. Yeah, I saw part of today's Ohio State and Illinois game. That was, not a very challenging game for Ohio State, but I'm glad they won anyway. And Ron, you mentioned chicken fried steak. Oh my goodness, that is also one of my favorites. I might just have to go find some somewhere. Lee, Indian Head. Yeah, your last go around, I saw that. It looked a little bit transparent to me on the ATV repeater. It was kind of strange. Seriously, the Indian had a pale face, but the rest of the test pattern looked really good. Wade, moving the mesh device to a tower. Be careful out there. It's supposed to be raining much of the day tomorrow, so even if it's not raining, the rungs on the tower may be slippery. Watch out for that, and plan to deal with the rain if you're going out there. Be careful. KD7ZYM and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's see if we can get WU7N. Beam yourself up, James. Beam yourself up.
WU7N? All right, I now have audio. Let's see if a picture ever appears this time. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat here, but at least I know. Carlos, thank you very much for the handy tip. I know now that I just have to turn it off and turn it on again. Oh, there I am. There I am, a gray smear again. Maybe it's something to do with the lighting. Let me turn that lighting down and turn this off. Everyone's patience. I'm trying a reset here to see if I can get this picture to work. If not, I'll just go with audio. There's the spectrum analyzer screen. There's the call sign. And let's see if I can get this to work. Will it? Yes! Yes! There it is. Okay. Good suggestion, Carlos. When all else fails, turn it off and turn it on again. I can tell you're a Microsoft employee. Okay, well, anyway, and Carlos, good to hear you're having such great success with HF, with your new antenna system. That's very good news. Shows the sunspot cycle is not dead yet. That's good. And you have a new invention there, the gun bullet capacitor. You probably should get a patent on that right away before someone else beats you to it. So anyway, let's see what else. Sorry to hear about your chimney, Dave, but you're correct. It's better to find out that stuff during maintenance than find out during the earthquake. We do have them around here every once in a while, and that sounds very scary. The chimney coming off of the side of the house. If it was a brick chimney, that's somehow scarier, but I suppose actually it would be just as scary as if it was a metal chimney. Let's see. I am still unclear what the satellite that they're going to put up that covers the East Coast, that's very inexpensive, what exactly it's going to do. But I guess we really only have about 4 minutes left if someone else wants to tell me that, or I'll go searching on the ever helpful internet to try and figure out what that sat will do. So anyway, well, thank you very much for everyone's patience tonight. This is James, WAU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, and I will be talking to you guys next Wednesday. Stopping right.
WU7N, the transporter brought you to real life. Digital television. Glad to see your image was all intact. I would hate to worry about residual particles floating around in space, but you did pull it together, and it was nice.
So let's move on to
Carlos, 87NP.
All right, this is 87NP, back on the air just for a short transmission. So this is my second invention of the night. I've realized that so I have two rotators up there, one for the satellite antenna and the other one for the HF antenna, and it's kind of hard to keep going up and down and figure out if I have the north in the proper place or not when aligning the antenna. So I'm building, this is just the electronics. It's a microcontroller, which is a ESP32. And on this one, it has a little device which is 9 degrees of freedom, so it's able to understand azimuth, elevation, in fact, pitch and roll. I mean, this could be inside a drone and would do a good job. Right now, I just need it for azimuth and elevation. And so this device, then it's connected on the Wi-Fi network, and I'm still kind of figuring out where's up and down on the device. But as I move the device around, the website that's inside this microcontroller then tells me where's the azimuth. And now I'm going to change the elevation, and I still haven't figured out again where's up and down, but we're getting there. And then this will give me also the new up and down. So that's and then I'll put this inside a box that will be up there, and with solar panel and the battery, and this will be a standalone device that I can just access the web server to see the azimuth and elevation. So that's invention of the weekend, and that's it for tonight. We're at the end, so returning back to net control 87NP.
.87NP, thanks with that. And it's time to close up the net. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, simulcasting audio over WW7ATS 2-meter repeater, 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. for our Watts Net. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off the net at 9:01. Good evening all.